Well, finally got through with the tree saw. Cut through it on this side okay with the circle saw, but I didn't eyeball it right on this trim board. It's too thick for me to get even close to it with a circle saw, so I didn't even try to start on that. So we cut it out, and we're just going to hammer that up even again and put the post in there. Well, a good old tree saw, it doesn't always cut straight, but it cuts. It goes through wood. Electrician's going to bring us a reciprocating saw over tomorrow morning or this afternoon, so I can work on that one. A little bit straighter cut. So I'm happy to get that down. I'm just a little concerned about this thing sliding down. Tap that back up into place and see what happens to it. I'm going to do that right now. If it taps up even, then we're good. Oh, we have another problem now. That rot at the bottom of the post, that was wet rot. This up here at the top, this is termites. Seen enough of them before to know. I haven't eaten into this wood too much, so it's still pretty solid. So that's going to be alright. What I'm going to have to do is cut through this piece of wood with some paddle bits, and that'll, until I get even with this, and I got plenty of extra posts, I can put that up in there, and then I've been sitting here for a half an hour trying to figure out how I was going to saw through that sideways with this piece of wood there that's got to be screwed in tighter. And now this is going to fit better anyway, because the post will fit in that slot and be less likely to slide around when I put the screws in with it. But I got to get this one nail out of here before this one nail is toenailed in here for this window frame. There's a big piece of plexiglass used to go in the slot. I didn't allow enough room for expansion with it. With the heat and cold, it eventually cracked. So I'm just going to go on the outside with it. I'm going to put it on. Someday I would like to put another door back in here. One that doesn't need as much clearance. Maybe a smaller door. I can do that, probably. Someday when I have money. But I can get through that with the Panda. As long as I get through those, as long as I can get through that one toenail. There might be another toenail there. If there is, well, I might have to cut through it some other way. Pulling this out, this is something I wish I could show you, but I don't have a place to mount this camera, and it'd be the same problem when you had one hour and two ends. It's just a pain in the butt, because if this was all good wood going straight flat across here. The trouble is, we put this thing together like a jigsaw puzzle. Get that 2x4 going up straight like the other one, I would have just filled in with some kind of filler compound where that termite was, and put that, went ahead and did it the way I was going to. But now, once you get into it, things get more complicated. And there's been a lot of stress on this, because that's pulled out even since I've put that back up. It's pulled out. So, windy days, last couple of days. I might have to definitely put some screws into that post from here. So it's really better that that post is going up higher anyway. So I can tighten that down a little bit there. If I can get it to work. I'll get it to work. They just come by reciprocal saw so we can get through this stuff. I don't want to break my arm on it with that. Oh, that would do it a lot better than I thought it would. Just wasn't quite as straight. But I could have fixed that with a belt sander, flatten that out and a post on there. But well, it's always a new can of worms. You plan, then when you get into old lumber, this was new when I put it together, but that was 30 years ago. Let's see, 79, 30, 40, 79, 80, 33 years ago. This thing's been up here for 33 years. Used to be all glazing up in here. Sun used to shine through it. It was really pretty. But the water was making it rot, so I couldn't get to stop leaking because of the expansion problem. And because of this Tuff-X stuff, it looks great. It looks just like the good stuff, but except for being smaller. But if it sits in the sunlight too long, it gets brittle. Now the Tuff-X twin wall people are going to give me a call if they ever see my site and say, "What did you run another product for? Can you prove that it gets brittle?" Well, if I hadn't thrown away all the junk that I ripped off that roof when I was in the Navy on emergency leave, then yeah, I could. Okay, we're going to call it a day for right now. They might come by with their reciprocal saw, but I'm not going to work on it till tomorrow. It's cold. I know what I'm going to do with those 5 bits. I'll write it down so I won't forget it. Because sometimes I forget my plans.